Good evening. How are you today? What a gorgeous day we've had here in Wisconsin. I'm telling you, it was perfect. Yesterday was great too. And I was able to get out and take a walk after lunch today. I got caught up on my work almost. I knew that I could get it finished this afternoon. Setting up for my workshop tomorrow, and lots going on here today. But I like it that way. I like to have fun things to do. So we're just going to wait here a little bit while people pop on. I am Card Creating with Jean. My name is Jean Ducro. And I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in McFarland, Wisconsin, which is just south of Madison. So I hope you have all had a great Saturday. I got out early and fed our hungry birds. It seemed like they can plow through my big bird feeder full of seed in one day. I don't know, I can't believe how much food they can eat. They throw a lot of it on the ground, which the squirrels and the chipmunks absolutely adore. Hello, Pam. Welcome. Glad to see you tonight. So they are pretty, I don't know. They love that seed, I guess. And what they don't love ends up on the ground for the other critters. And I was able to pick a few tomatoes, and I didn't get out to pick my beans, which I probably still need to do. I might wait till tomorrow morning to do that. So things are starting to produce in the garden, which I love. Tonight we were able to have a nice big tray full of roasted vegetables, and some of it was from the garden. Makes me feel very accomplished, I guess, when I get something that I can actually cook with, at least enough to cook with. So, hi Nancy, thank you for joining us. Seems like it's been a little bit slower. People must be really busy this summer doing stuff, because there haven't been quite as many people on when I do my lives. Hopefully they are catching them later and can get some ideas. So tonight we are going to work with a Holly Jolly set. It's one of the new online exclusives that came out a couple months ago. And I haven't worked with it too much, and thought that it would be a good night to maybe do a little bit of that. I'm kind of, my class tomorrow is working with the Jar of Joy stamp set, and then the punch that goes with it. And I've got them all set up and ready to go with that. And then on Tuesday morning early, I get to stay up until, what would it be, 1 o'clock in the morning, so I can place my order for the new holiday catalog, the one that comes out in September, the September through December catalog. And there's also a new bunch of online exclusives to go along with it. So I have my list ready. I'm still considering a number of things, because right now my total is, drum roll please, $624. I was hoping that it wouldn't be quite that much, but we'll see. I just know that if I don't order it now, I will probably end up ordering it later. So might as well get it out of the way. I've got the money right now, but I won't have it for long. What can I say? Well, I'm ready to turn the camera down and get started on our Holly Jolly set. So let me get the camera flipped and turned. Just have to move my light out of the way. Let's see. Hopefully that is going to work for you. Let's see, where are we? We're way up there. I'm going to bring you forward just a little bit more so that you can see what's going on. Get the light moved over slightly. Okay, so this is the set. They seem to usually have one set that has a lot of sentiments and little small things to go with it each year. And this is nice if you want to make any gift tags, to use these little small images. They're not very big. They're like, here's one of them here, and here's another one. We are going to be using this one. The class that I've got going on is going to be using that one, so that one's not in there right now. But it's got some really nice little sentiments that you can use outside and inside, depending on what you want to do. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of everything. And then that one comes with this beautiful embossing folder with the holly leaves on it. And it's also a hybrid, so you can cut out portions of the holly leaves if you run it through. I can't. I was going to say, I have one card that I made where I did that, and I know I showed it to you once before. It leaves the edges up, but it doesn't completely cut it out of the paper. So it gives you more of a 3D effect if you lift up some of the leaves. And I was able to put a tag in the center with some of the leaves going over the tag with the front greeting. It was pretty stunning. So, but I did not use that this time. I thought we would just work more with the embossing folder and adding some sentiments to the cards, just keeping it a little simple, but showing you different ways and different mediums that you can use for decorating the embossing folder. So I went ahead and embossed a whole bunch of sheets. I did try the two-tone paper and sanded it. I didn't like the way it turned out. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see this really well. Yeah, I guess you can. It's kind of hit or miss, and I don't know how well that would turn out. I think the better option would be to run it through, and because this paper is thinner, you don't get quite as heavy a groove on the paper. But if you maybe added another sheet of paper behind it when you put it through the embossing folder, it would make the edges pop out a little bit more. One thing I would recommend when running this through an embossing folder is to spritz it with a little bit of water to keep the paper from tearing. I did notice that it wanted to break through on the berries in a couple of places. Once I sanded it, you didn't notice that, but I didn't think that the sanding really hit it well, like it would if it was a piece of regular cardstock. So I'm thinking, this is the lighter side, I'm thinking I might try taking my brayer and going over it with another color, maybe something that would darken it, because it's going to hit these little veins on the leaves, and I think the dots will show up better. When I've tried to drag my ink across the paper, I've had a hard time getting it even and to look as good as it does if you use a brayer on it. That's just my problem, I guess, or my tip for you there. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, that's some order. You're right, Nancy. Hi, Shar. Thanks for joining, and thank you so much for sharing. Hi, Carol. Thanks for... Can I use a die without the embossing folder? Well, I don't know why not. Absolutely. It's not going to cut through. It's going to give you the same thing. So using it with the embossing folder will give it a little more of the... it's only going to do the outline of the leaves. It's not going to cut it completely out. There's going to be one spot where it's not going to be... able to detach. You could actually go in with scissors and cut them apart if you wanted to use some of these images on your paper. And I thought about doing that as well. But tonight we're going to be just working on the embossed images. So I have one here that we're going to start with and do the easiest thing. Let me grab my basket and bring it over here. And what I found to look really nice is just coloring in the berries on this. And when you use your alcohol ink on this, let me get my reading glasses on, it'll make it a lot easier for me. Don't try to go all the way to the outside edge. I just simply put a little bit on, and it's going to spread on its own. I like it because it keeps the berries separated a little bit, and that's how they show up when you emboss them, is that they're separated. They're not all bunched together. So that is my tip on that. Oops. This makes it go very, very quick. And once I get this done, I am going to actually add some Wink of Stella to this. I just think it helps, I don't know, it takes it to another level. Gives it a little class. Easy peasy, huh? So that's it with that. I got my Wink of Stella right here. I'm going to have to try to remember to order more of this, because I dealt with using a couple of these Wink of Stellas that didn't have a lot of wink left in it. And you can definitely tell that it's got more of a sparkle to it when you go to use a newer one than you did the other ones. It's like, oh my gosh. And I have gone over this a couple of times. And it does, adding another layer will actually make it pop even more. But for right now, I'm just going to put the one on, and then I'm going to show you techniques, and then we're going to put the cards together. I just found that it was a little bit easier and takes up less time than you watching me do all of the coloring on these leaves, because that does take some time. Okay, we'll put this one aside. I've got the base and everything to go with it for making a card, so we'll put that one aside for right now. Let me get out the rest of these. Okay, so that's gonna go with this one. The next one I thought we would do. Oh, did I not cut out another one? Oh, shoot, I didn't. Well, that's not good. We're going to skip that one and we'll come back. Okay, so I have this one that I'm using as my sample because we're gonna do a bunch of different things on this one. The next one, I thought it would be kind of cool to use Misty Moonlight. I tried it with the dark Secret Sea. It was just a little bit too dark. And I'm just going to color the leaves in. And I'm trying to leave that white stripe in the center, that little groove, open, so that it gives it just a little bit more interest by having that. And I've got one whole sheet that I've already finished, so it will be all set to go with the card. last one we'll do is the one that's using Secret Seafoam. Secret Seafoam. Now there's a color. Soft Seafoam. Oh, goodness. Obviously, I was paying too close attention to what my hand was doing, not engaging my brain that I should have had for with my mouth flapping. Okay, just to give you an idea, this is really pretty. And then adding the Wink of Stella on the berries. And I'll show you what it looks like close up and what the full sheet looks like. I think it's really pretty. Here's the full sheet done. And I've tried to, there's a couple of flowers of leaves that are folded over on the edge, and I've left those white. And there's one up there too. I just thought, oh, that's kind of cool to see the leaf maybe is white on the opposite side. So that's that one, and we'll put that one together here in just a minute. And then the one, I feel like I'm missing something. Let's see. Nope. The one problem that I have, Stampin' Up! Does not have Garden Green in a Stampin' Blend. And trying to figure out what I could use. It just was hard when you couldn't stamp something and then have a blend that would give you a light color. Well, I figured I'm trying this in the dark Lost Lagoon. Now here's one of those that has that folded over leaf on it. So I just come down. And it's definitely kind of a, I don't know, it's a blue, green, gray kind of color. And if my ink happens to get too close into that line, I just, when I come back on the other side, I just bring it over, even if it's past where the line is. If it gets really close, then I just bring this over further, just to keep my white line on there. Granted, this might not be something that you'd want to do for a whole mess of cards, but if you have somebody special that you want to give a card to, I think this is really pretty. I don't mind taking longer than just, I don't know, I don't like to slap a card together. I feel like I haven't done it justice. I like to take my time and there. All right, so we've got it so far, and you can definitely tell that it's, you know, the Lost Lagoon. But if you take the green Stampin' Up! Colored pencil and go over it, I have used colored pencils with blends frequently to add a little extra color or definition to whatever it is that I'm doing. I had thought about, you know, just using the garden green paper, but I don't think it's going to give the image, it's not going to pop because it's such a dark color to begin with. Okay, and then I'm taking the blender pen, and I'm just going over it, so if you don't happen to get all the way out on the little points that come out, the blender pen will help you get it back out there and smooth it out. And takes care of any lines from the pencil that you might have made on the image. Like so. And then I need a piece of paper to get my green off of there. And then I'm just going to take, I guess I'm going to take, here it is, a Sherry Cobbler to do the center. Same thing, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get some color on there because you're going to go over it with the blender pen. Like so. Let me show you what, let's see, the green. Here's garden green. Look at how close that is in color. I think that's pretty close. Let me get it up here closer to you so you can get a good look at it. So if you're trying to figure out how to get a garden green color, just go ahead and use the Stampin' Blend Dark Lost Lagoon. Light Lost Lagoon give you just a lighter shade of green. Okay, so my sheet that I made up was like this. And that's exactly what I did on here. It's a little brighter green than what a little bit brighter, but I think it's pretty cool. And if you want to, you can go with the Wink of Stella again on the berries if you want to. But, okay, so that's that one. Now, what I would like to show you, let me get some of this out of the way because I'm going to have to, I want to emboss one of these sheets for you. I'll show you another technique. Well, there are. I got a new file cabinet. And I went and I had it, my other file cabinet was old, and the paper was so heavy in it, and it wasn't a heavy-duty file cabinet. Oops, and I went ahead and the drawers were just impossible to get open. Ugh, they were terrible. Let's see, 4x4. Ooh, that looks pretty good. I think there's, oh, a sliver to take off. Oh, sure. Now it's all crumbly. I hate when that happens. Take a little more off. Oops. Okay. All right, let's run this through the embossing folder quick. And this is a 3D embossing folder, so you take that little white one off. I like running it down here to get as many of the holly on there as possible. Okay, let's see, get this out. Okay. I had to take some time today to unbury my desk And the table that's next to me was a catastrophe. Okay, so here we have the soft seafoam. And it's pretty, but I just like it to pop a little bit more. So I took the green, garden green, figured out which way I was going to have the image, you know, if it was going to be landscape or portraits. And on the bottom side of the leaves that were going to be facing towards the bottom, I added color in here with just kind of put a little bit of color in. And just a tiny bit on top, not a lot. All right, and take our blender again. Make sure I got the red off of it. Yep. And just go over just that little added extra bit of color makes the images pop on the embossed piece. I don't know if you can see that or not. I will hold it up to the light here in just a sec. You don't want it to be too in your face, just slightly light. Hopefully you can see that. There isn't not a shadow on it. It just, I don't know, I just like something that has just a little bit of contrast to it. And then again, I went with the, I think I did. Yes, I did. I went with you know, if you like this enough, you could do a bunch of these, just the fronts, and then have them all set to go to pop in a card. Like so. And I used the Wink of Stella on the berries on this. Give it a little sparkle. Like so. And the sheet that I did is right here. And I'm planning on, I can't remember which way I was going with it. I gotta look at the inside of the card. We're going the long way. Okay. So it's this direction. So I can go ahead and start by putting some of these cards together. Some of this stuff out of the way, though. I'll get out the rest of the things we'll be using. I'm going to use some of the stamps from that set. Okay, basket out of the way. So I started with a piece of soft seafoam that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And This is going to go on the inside. This is 3 by 4 1/4, and this is 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. And that's going to go like so. I got it. You can see that I grabbed a piece of cardstock that has a little bit of a score line on it. Okay, this is from the gotta look it up quick. Floral Impressions. This set has this really nice green on the back side that I thought went quite well on here. And we will go ahead and glue that on. And, oh, I'll give you a size, sorry. Almost forgot. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Yep, 4 by 5 1/4. You'll see how quick these cards go together once you have the front all set to go. Alright, and then I have a piece of red that is 3 3/4 by 5. And that is going to go on here. But I'm going to actually mount it onto our piece of our embossed image here, which is, this is 4 7/8 by 3 well, since it's been embossed, it's 3 5/8. And that's going to slip on here. I'll go ahead and put that on. I'll have to report back with you on how the image looks if I use the brayer on the debossed side. Oops, let's get this straight here, Jean. Aw, thanks, Nancy. You like it on the this one on the colored paper, Char? Yeah, it's gonna look pretty. I'm just gonna put this on here in the center. Don't have any red ribbon? Well, we can solve that. We'll just take a piece of red cardstock and put it across here. And then I've got, this is 1 3/4 by 3. And this is one of the dies. It's a larger die. So you get a larger and a smaller one here. So you could actually do something with 2 different colors if you wanted to. But I'm just using the one. And we're going to put Merry Christmas in real red. And they're separate stamps, so you can put Merry Holiday, whatever, and Christmas is separate. So I just lined them up on my stamp acrylic stamp thing here. Hang on a second, let me get this straight. I'm trying to concentrate. Okay. And that stamps out really sweet. Okay, and then there's room enough for our little holly berries, or holly. Let's see, I want to do that in garden green. And I'm actually going to stamp off because I want it on the lighter shade. I don't want it so in your face. So I'm just going to stamp off. Turn it around, Jean. And it fits on here just really sweetly. Like so. just filled it in with the soft seafoam. And this is, which one do I have? Did I grab here? The light one. And I'm not going to color in that center. I'm going to leave it white. Follow suit with the rest of these that I've done. Like so, and I can't remember, what did I do on my sample? Actually, I think I used a colored pencil on that. Okay, where did it go? Shouldn't put things away so quickly. Alright, so we are going to put that on here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So I think I'm going to pop up the sentiment. And this is, oh, shoot, is it a half or 3/4? I can't remember what I made it. It is 3/4 of an inch by 4 and, what is it? Well, it's a 1/16 over 4 3/4. I'm not gonna count all those 16ths for you. I think you can figure that out. We'll pop that up. Dimensionals. Oops, that's not the ones I want. The big ones. Yeah, I think we'll put one in the center. Okay. Looks pretty good. And then let's add, how about some of these fun little candies? Real red and white adhesive back peppermints. Okay. I think I'm going to just put, I got plenty of this size, so let's put one of these on each side. There. Got that part done. Now the inside. Let's do the same thing with our holly leaves. Stamping off in the corner. And what should we put on the inside? May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. What's the other one I've got here? I've got Holly and Jolly. What's this one? Bright and happy Christmas wishes. Oh, I think we're going to go with this one. And we'll do it in red. You might be wondering why I use the dark cherry cobbler, and I'm using it because it's, when I used the real red colored pencil, it wasn't dark enough. It was kind of pinkish. We're just going to color this the same as we did the one on the front. Excuse me. And I guess I don't like, when I use the colored pencils, I don't like to push down real hard with them, because then it, you know, crushes the paper. I like the paper to stay smooth. Have any of you ordered this set at all? Oh, thanks, Nancy. Yeah, I like the soft seafoam. It's always been one of my favorite colors. I like using it. That inside, and number one's done. I didn't have any samples, so I just put the cards together, and I guess I'm kind of praying it's going to work out okay without having done one as a sample. Had everything all laid out yesterday when I was working on them. So there's number one. Merry Christmas. May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. So that's using colored pencils and the blenders. Yeah, and the blenders. Right, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, let's do this one that we mixed the two together. Colored pencils and the blenders actually on the image. Okay, so I started out with white, same thing. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm doing another card this direction. And what was I using for the sentiment? I don't remember. Oh, God. No way. Merry and Bright. That's what I was going to use, or something like that. Hang on a second. I got to look through my boxes. Here it is. No, that's not it. Bright Christmas wishes. Well, let's see what's in here. Or I'm going to have to come up with something else, because I'm not seeing it here on my desk. Oh, here it is. Gee willikers. Jeez. Okay, let's get these glued into place. I'm using the opposite side of the two-tone paper, the garden green. I thought it was a little bit closer. I liked the colors together. So let's go ahead and get these glued on. So next Saturday, I'm going to be up in Oshkosh community of practice group is meeting, I think, at a Southwest restaurant in Oshkosh. I have to look it up. It was kind of I was outvoted where we were gonna go. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on as well. So when I get done there, I'm going to have to dash home for our live. Okay, and that's going to go on there. We are going to emboss the image, Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes, on here. All right. I had the sheet here. There you go. Get a few things off my desk or out of the way. Okay. I'm going to do just this edge, that side. We'll put some of those little candies again over on the right-hand side. And this, I think, is just going to fit. Oh, it fits fine. And we're going to use white embossing powder. White. No, that's clear. Oh, I'm glad I looked at that. White. I would have been very disappointed. That looks pretty good. Now let's see if I can keep all those little embossing dust off my desk. Where's my big... There we go. Nope, got some on it. It's like getting sand on your table or on your floor. Table in this case. Alright, I had... Well, I guess I don't have. This works the best. Okay. My little avalanche. Well, we don't need that. Okay, sorry about that. Like a bull in a china shop here tonight. Okay. I'm back. I think we're going to pop this up too. Time for some new ones. Oh, that'll fit in there pretty good. Scissors, paper. Yeah, I start out with a desk that looks fairly decent. Sure doesn't take long to make a mess. that's kind of cute. Get some of these. Let's see. How do we want to do this? There. All right. Inside. Okay, we've got bright and happy Christmas wishes. May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. Bright and happy Christmas wishes. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll use the red. Trying to decide which to use. Now, if you wanted to try to have the rest of it be the same in color, let's try. I wonder how Lost Lagoon would be on that. Decisions here. Let's experiment. Where did my holly go? Here it is. Try that again. Where is mine? I used the dark. Maybe if I use the light with it. I've got that sitting right here. Let me see how that looks. You can still see the edges. And let's take the green. Where'd the green pencil go? Look at it. There it is. Let's give it a try. I'm game. Okay. Light. I just wanted to be able to see the edge of the leaves. See what we think of it. Oh, with the other side, Jean. On my list, huh? I know that, how that goes. Go ahead, color these in right away. You know, one thing that I found I was surprised about is that Stampin' Up! Didn't have any printed paper really for Christmas in the online exclusives that had recently come out. So it made it a little more challenging to come up with card designs when you're used to using maybe some printed cardstock, DSP. But there is definitely some really pretty stuff coming out. So just hang on. And Char, you had asked me if there was a 6x6 paper. There's one for fall, but there really isn't. I didn't see any for Christmas. Okay, what did I do with my... Just throw it back in the box. Alright, my paper is here. Always check to make sure the tip is... That's comparable, isn't it? I like making different colors. There's a will, there's a way. Green off here before I go at the red. All right. Again, if you wanted to put like a Stella on those berries, go for it. How are we doing for time? Ooh, I got 3 minutes to make 2 cards. I don't think I'm going to make it. Sorry, guys. I was just doing the fronts. Maybe I could have gotten it done in an hour. That looked pretty good. Oh, there we go. And there we go. And that's card number 2. All right. Let's do the blue one. All right. This one's got some jazz to it. We have to do a little bit of, I gotta cut out a die cut. So this is gonna go on here, followed by this guy. Yep. Good Lord, I got a mess on my desk. This is some new paper that's coming out in the new catalog. This is part of some new stuff that we got a preview of by taking like a workshop, an online workshop. So we got one of the sets early. Very, very pretty. Has some gorgeous die cuts. And it is also one that can be used for more than just Christmas. So this is the one we did in the Misty Moonlight. And then I just put the Wink of Stella on the berries. Put this one on. Whoop. Did that wrong. No, I don't want to. I want to use the glue tape runner on this. Otherwise, you can see the edges of the glue marks. And I would have done the same thing on the next layer, but that's okay. I didn't like that I was covering up this DSP, so we're adding it to the tag on the front. Okay. So this is going to go on here. And there is one Joy die cut in this set. And I already put the adhesive on the back here so that it'll be easy to put it on. And let's just run this through the machine. Oops, quickly. There, actually, this would be fairly easy to just glue on as well. There's a good amount of surface area that you can get glue onto. But I thought, oh, why not? Let's try it this way. So it's going to go on this off. Get the little leaf behinds off. Well, that didn't come out. There. Okay. Yeah, nuts. I don't want to lose it. Let's stick it back in the box if I can find the box. Here it is. So you got the joy on here. Alright, so I think I'm just going to mount that directly on there. Or do I have a little round circle? Oh, I could punch a circle. I'm just wondering about putting a little accent in white. That's too big. Avalanche. Let's see. Is that? Can I get by with it too? Or 1 3/4? Alright, let's try 1 3/4. Just think it might make it stand out a little bit more. Designing on the fly. I think I like that better. It makes it stand out a little bit more. Alright, I just had the cover for this. Alright, let's mount that on here. I like that the dot for the J is attached. And I don't mind that it's hanging off a little bit. We'll pop that up. Whew. There's 2 left on here. And we'll glue that on. Okay. Get some of this out of the way. Where'd my glue go? Here it is. That's a problem. Okay. There we are. Now this one, you know what, I was going to put that behind. Doggone. Oh well. It didn't happen. Joy. I like that holly and jolly. It just seems to I don't know. We're going to stamp this directly in using Misty Moonlight. Like so. Let's put some Misty Moonlight on these as well. And wink Castella on those berries like we did on the front. There was a little red on that one. There. And because I don't have it on another sheet, a separate, we can't use the blends because it'll soak through. So there is that one. I'm just wondering, maybe some pearls or something on there? Something clear. I don't think I've got anything that's Misty Moonlight. Ugh, no. Oh, but I have these. These are part of that set that this paper is from. Hues of Blue. They're called flowers, but I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's going to interfere with the DSP. Not going to look right. I think I've just got some old pearls. Here's some that are just white. That would be okay. As I search for my stuff. Here. Oop. There. Just a little something. All right, last one. Hope you're still hanging in there with me. Okay, back to the one that we started first, the berries. And you get to tell me which one you like the best. Okay. So the green is, I'm guessing 4 by 5 1/4. The red should be 3 3/4 by 5. Yep. These go on the inside. Again, it's always 3 by 4 1/4. This will be 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. 4 3/8, pardon me. I'm going to tuck that inside. Oh, and this one goes with it too. And this one is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So that's going to be a tripler on this inside. Okay. And I did the same on the front. Okay, this one is going this direction. It's the narrower. All right, let's start gluing. That is not straight. There we go. this one was going to look real Christmassy. The red and the green, and then the holly berries. I think that makes for a really cool card. And I bet you're thinking to yourself, boy, am I glad that she had all those already pre-done, pre-colored. A little overzealous with the glue right there. There. Okay. Now, this is, the green one is 1.5 by 3 5/8. The red one is 1 3/8 by 3 5/8. So it'll go right there. And the sentiment is 1. Looks like about 1 1/4 by 3. Well, it's a little. Well, let me see, 3 5/8. Is that gonna fit on there? It does. Okay. I glue these two together. Okay. And this one we will stamp in real red. And I'm going back to using Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes. What happened here? Come on, move. There. Boy, that would have been a mess. Glad it still gave me a little bit of forgiveness. Okay, we are going to pop that up. Put this away for just a second. On this desk that is such a mess. Here they are. Gonna make sure that it's good and tight to the card. There. Oops. Let's put it the right direction though, Jean. Got that one? Yep. Okay. Okay. Now, did I give you the sizes of these? Yes, I did. As soon as I put it over there to measure it, I realized, yep, I did. All right, put these two together. Now you know why I don't do this many cards. It takes me too long. I'm sorry. Oh, come on, chair. Get in here. Okay. Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes. Should we do one that says Holly and Jolly? I'm going to do Merry Christmas. Yeah, just Merry Christmas. Holly and Jolly looks like it should go on the front of a card. I think I'm using it. In my class. Okay. There we go. And since these are in white, I'm not going to stamp any on the inside. We're just going to let this be it. Okay. As soon as I get this done, you can let me know what your favorite is when I bring them all back out. And then we have to have our drawing from our last live. Carrie, I'm glad you like them. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with that again. Oops. There. Okay. Clean up this mess a little bit. And bring our cards back. So it's this one, and that one. What do you think? What's your favorite? I am missing a wrapper for my gems. I tossed it someplace. What do you think? All are pretty. Thanks, Char. Thank you. I don't know which one I like better. They're all different. But it just tells you the versatility if you just experiment a little bit when you're creating. It's kind of fun. So let's do our drawing. And then I just wanted to let you know a couple of things that aren't available and one thing that is. Oh, okay. Our drawing tonight. Let's see who the lucky person is and what are the odds that they will be on. Oh, Carrie, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm putting you in the mood. Yeah, to get them done early, man. Blue is your favorite? Yep. Gotcha. Okay, let's see. Who is lucky tonight? It's Rhonda Brunkhorst is our lucky person tonight. Is Rhonda on? I don't think she is she? Gotta look back. No, I don't see her. Well, we're gonna have to let her know that she won tonight. See which one she decides on. Okay, a couple of things that I was going to tell you. And maybe you've already heard it. Can't even remember if I posted it on Facebook. I don't know if I have. Starting the 5th of August, all the in color, and this would be the in colors from 2005 to 2007. So the most recent in colors are going to be 15% off. So it would be paper, any of the blends, ink, refills, the set that would have the in color markers, all of it is going to be 15% off, and that goes till August 31st. So I thought that was a good thing. So time to stock up or try it out if you haven't gotten any of them yet. Not orderable. The Fully Flowering Ephemera Pack will be back on August 11th. The Just a Note stamp set. That one must have just gone on not available because it's to be determined. So probably hopefully by next week we'll have a date. Coneflower Celebrations. That one is going to be available on August 11th. The Hole Punch Assortment seems like it's been not available for forever. That one, well, wait a second. It must be 8/28. I wrote down 7. I think it's supposed to be 8/28. Sunrise Sailing Hybrid Embossing Folder and Dies, 9/1. The Glass and Gardens Embossing Folders, that's the 2 mini embossing folders. That one will be available August 11th. Impressions of Bloom Dies, August 11th. And Sunflower 3D Embossing Folder, August 11th. So any sets or bundles that have any of these items with them would have the same availability then. You wouldn't be able to get them until they are completely back in stock. So that's what I have for you tonight. And I still have room for anybody that wants to do the Spooky Sweet class to go. And that is $50 for 8 cards and envelopes. And that includes over $30 in product. And it would include, let me grab this stuff here, a half a pack of the cute DSP. It's just adorable. You get a full pack of the foam stars, a full pack of the iridescent treat bags, and a half a roll of the beautiful iridescent ribbon. This is the Petunia Pop iridescent ribbon that's so pretty. So that is what is included in that set. And I'm running the class towards the end of this month, last Sunday, I think, in the month. And so if it's something that you want to get in on, let me know so that I can make sure that I get the product ordered for it. And I would be happy to ship it to you, unless you can get to my house to pick it up, or we can work something out. So let me know on that. I think that's all I've got for you tonight. Just remember, if you're watching this in the replay, we do the drawing for what we made tonight on Tuesday night when I have my next live. So if you're watching this after, and go ahead and respond, and I will add your name to the drawing. Be glad to do that. So enjoy this beautiful weather we're having. Almost feels like there could be a scent of fall in the air when you get cooler weather after a hot spell like we've had. But anyway, I will talk to you all on Tuesday night, and have a good Sunday, everybody. Bye-bye.